let's see what the best of southern Wisconsin has to offer.
Love it.
This yellow pigment is what we accumulate in the back of our eyes that help protect our eyes from sunlight, like natural sunglasses.
Really?
Yeah.
So the Mexican street corn is probably a lot of different ways that I like to riff off of corn. Right now we have a corn risotto on the menu with a lime creme fraiche, and then we do some seasonal mushrooms. Right now we got some chanterelles going in there, but then we put a little bit of guanciale, which is the cured pork jowls. So it's like pork cheek bacon basically. So that's a little flavor. Quick little story, one of the largest producers or consumers of the curly kale was Pizza Hut back in the 90s on their buffets, because they would have so many Pizza Huts and so many buffets. They were purchasing the most curly kale just to decorate the buffet, not eating any of it. Yes.
Oh, what a waste.
Small. Yeah, you know, the kale, the curly kale farmer didn't mind probably, but I don't think they were using organic kale either.
Now, do you ever boil kale?
If I'm in a hurry, I'll help that cooking process by getting a little bit of water in it to help the breakdown.
Do you notice the yellow in the water?
Sure, yeah.
That yellow in the water is the same yellow. It's from the same compound in corn that our eye accumulates. Yeah, leafy greens are just loaded with vitamins and all kinds of carotenoids.
And kale would be stronger than would a Swiss chard or a collard green have it?
Well, these are all dark green. You can kind of tell by their color.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're still learning. As I was talking with you about earlier, that we know a whole lot about what we need to grow and to reproduce. But research on what we need to stay healthy is much more behind. There are so many things in foods that can help with healthy aging that we're just learning. So.
And one of the easy things for me as a chef was saying what goes together grows together. So, as tomato season's kind of coming in, October to an end, the watermelons and the melons are kind of that September prime time also. So we'll start to see a lot of that in the restaurant on how do you kind of maximize your use on everything with the watermelon rinds and put flavors together that are maybe unique and creative, because it's a business aspect, and if everyone's cooking local and seasonal, what do you do to separate yourself from everybody else? So we try to take a little creative twist, but at the same time, these are beautiful cherry tomatoes, and you want to showcase that in the dish also. So
I went to the island of Crete, which is where the Mediterranean diet originated, because that was the island that had the healthiest men with regard to heart health in the 1950s and 60s in a 7-country study. So even though they ate fair amounts of fat, they had the lowest death rate of heart disease. And so what I noticed, we don't score on the Mediterranean diet, are herbs. There are so many herbs on the countryside. They use so many herbs in their cooking, and they also make tinctures and make teas, many herbal teas. And so while we're not scoring those on any diet, I think herbs might have a lot of health benefits that we're just learning about.
Yeah. The prepared garlic that you see in the store and the oil, that's great, but it's fake garlic. It's not real, and if you're gonna take the time to cook and kind of put the effort into it, get the fresh garlic and show your food love that way, instead of the granulated garlic, and there's things for that, not many. This is what you want to have, and I think that's, without knowing the science behind it, I bet that's going to be about 10 times more beneficial than dried or powdered or prepared garlic.
What we've got here too, not only are they greens, I mean cruciferous vegetables have it all. They have antioxidant vitamins. They have cancer-fighting indoles, and they have fiber, which healthy microbes like. So they really kind of have all of what general properties that vegetables bring us.
I think that's one of the things that drew me to culinary field, is that everybody has a different story to tell, and there's also, everybody uses cabbage. Everybody uses, blood sausage, for example. You have it in every different cuisine, but everyone has their own different twist to it. But at the same time, it's all very similar. So it's kind of a way to connect with different cultures. And I was never very good at speaking many different languages. I lived in France for a summer, and it was a way for us to kind of communicate was through food. So how they would prepare their whitefish, and then how I would prepare a whitefish here in Wisconsin. So beer batter versus some merguez sausage and whitefish.
Birds that have healthy carotenoids are a signal to females that, hey, they're eating, they're getting their food from grains. And fish have accumulate carotenoids, especially fish skins and some fish colors like salmon. So they color our world in many different ways, and about 50 of the 500 carotenoids actually get absorbed by humans. And about 10 of them, including the lutein we've been talking about and beta carotene, which is in carrots, are in foods that we commonly eat.
So if I was just at a pheasant farm yesterday, the pheasants have amazing coloring to them. Would those be
bird colors are often and probably usually carotenoid based?
Once you start to learn more about the world we live in, it seems like it gets a lot smaller sometimes. So carrots are good for your eyes, or is that a myth?
It's not a myth. They are good for our eyes, but they're not the only thing. So it was a myth that got perpetuated during World War II when people were trying to get people to grow victory gardens. And so they marketed the idea that they're good for your eyes. So eat them. So they are good, and they're full of many other things.
Sure.
But yeah, vitamin A is also good for skin and for eyes.
Sometimes I think the smoothies are helpful for me on the go, where I'll just pack it full of spinach, blueberries, some ginger, apples, and just let it rip and put as much greens as I can manage in there. And when I'm done drinking it, it'll look like I just cut the grass with my teeth, basically. But I'll feel healthy for the rest of the day. And
so you give people a little chuckle and makes them feel happy, and you're happy.
Yes, and then the laughter combined with some good nutrients, win-win for everybody around me at that time.
Yeah, smoothies are just a great way to get lots of vegetables.
And that's part of the on-the-go. How do you, as an adult now, you know what's healthy. How do you consume that, and how do you make time for that? Arugula is one of my go-tos for my salad mixes. Kale, I think, is my smoothie go-to. And then spinach at the grocery store. Looking what do I, back to the easy and quick. What do I get at the grocery store when I'm trying to buy healthy, when I can't make it to the market? Those little 3-pounders of spinach, that goes in everything for me. That goes in my eggs, that goes in my smoothies, pasta, just quick and easy and organic. Who knows what organic means nowadays, but you try to, as a consumer, trust what's being put in front of you.
We are doing a study in older women and looking at the concentration of those carotenoids, lutein and zeaxanthin in their eyes. We found that women, even from ages 70 to 85, can increase this carotenoid in their eyes by eating about 3 to 5 eggs a week. So so eggs are good in moderation. We did not see local fish. There used to be a woman, it wasn't Rushing Waters, another woman on Saturday Square, but online I could not find any local fish prices. But working a little bit of fish in is because fish have those healthy fats, omega-3 fats for our eyes. They need those in the membranes. That's the only kind of fat, the long chain omega-3.
So, simple rules. Green is good. And green will help your eyes, digestion, and brain function.
Now, green is very good. There's so much green on the Greek island. And when they eat greens on Crete, they're talking greens they pick, wild greens, and they're this huge container for lunch. I couldn't believe. I got a lentil dish on this huge bed of greens. So they eat a lot of greens there. So if they're the longest living, maybe we have something to learn from them.